The fifth pillar, the big deadline, or the most important pillar of them all. A few days after Christmas one year, I had to rush my mom to the hospital. She'd been having chest pain for days and things were getting worse. Luckily, it turned out to be nothing more than a pulled muscle. But it shook me up. As I waited in the ER, I thought about all of the things, both personal and professional, I wanted to achieve while my mom was still around to see them. Although it's a terrible thing to think about, I couldn't get the nagging "what if" out of my head all week. We all have a natural big deadline in our lives, and the realization that we are all running out of time should be enough to inspire us to take action on our top priority today. You must learn to harness the power of the big deadlines in your life. You've done it before. Think back to the last time you went on vacation. You sure were productive on that final day of work before it started, weren't you? A deadline gets us to take action. It signifies the light at the end of the tunnel, the finish line at the end of the home stretch that motivates us to accelerate our progress and push harder towards our goals. The deadline puts urgency into our actions and keeps us going through the tough times and dark days. It is what keeps my fat loss clients on track after weeks of avoiding temptation, and it holds the same power for you. The big deadline is the fifth, final, and most important pillar of success. Without it, we procrastinate. We put off our best intentions until tomorrow when we should be doing them today. But if you want to succeed, you must have deadlines on your schedule for what really matters in life. They are harsh, honest, and unforgiving. They will work like nothing else. There are two ways the power of the big deadline can help you have a perfect day. First, you can use them in your daily routines by setting limits on your workday. For example, Sheryl Sandberg, the COO at Facebook, is famous for setting a rule that she would be home every night at 5:30 p.m. to have dinner with her children. That was a non-negotiable deadline. Deadlines must also be applied to your daily tasks. It's one thing to plan out a busy day of activities on your to-do list, but if you don't include a cutoff time for them, such as limiting a phone call to no more than 20 minutes, then these activities will all last longer than planned and cut into the amount of work you can accomplish. A jam-packed to-do list with no deadlines can leave you frustrated due to a lack of progress on what really matters in your life. The second and more important way to harness the power of the big deadline is by setting an end date for achieving your goals. Your dreams must have a deadline. Personal transformation programs work best when set for 90 days or less. If you want to aggressively pursue success, take your deadline and cut it in half. At first, this new deadline might seem near impossible to hit, but after reflection, you should think that yes, you can do it if you put the 5 pillars in place for your success. Challenge yourself. Otherwise, you might suffer from Parkinson's law, which says, work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. If you don't have a cutoff date for your projects, then you'll continue to add to your to-do list and the work will drag on forever. If you have a project that is lingering, set a deadline, one that comes with meaningful consequences for missing it, and get it done. Every deadline should come with incentives. You might choose to inflict a punishment upon yourself, such as making a donation to a political party or cause that you dislike, or you might offer yourself a reward for success. I struggled with Parkinson's law and procrastination when creating my turbulence training fat loss certification for personal trainers. My preparation work dragged on until I finally set a big deadline, booked a filming date, and prepaid for a conference room and videographer. By setting the filming date with meaningful consequences, paying all that money with nothing to show for it if I weren't ready, the deadline gave me the urgency I needed to get the work done and avoid the punishment of wasting the money spent on the room and film crew. Deadlines force you to focus and take the actions you need to take in order to achieve your big goals and dreams. There is nothing as powerful as the urgency of a deadline, set with meaningful consequences, to finally get you to take action.